Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're going to explore how to unlock the full potential of ServiceNow by mastering UI actions. This presentation is all about the powerful customization tools that can truly transform how users interact with your platform. We'll also see how these tools can automate complex workflows with elegance and efficiency. Over the next few slides, I'll walk you through the essentials of UI actions in ServiceNow and how they can empower your interactive workflows. So, let's get started. Let's take a closer look at some of the key authorization processes that help keep our workflows smooth and secure. When a request is approved, we can move forward confidently, knowing everything is in order. Workflow completion marks the successful end of a process, ensuring all steps have been executed properly. Closing a task indicates that work on that particular item is finished, freeing up resources for other priorities. Quick resolution actions are vital. They allow us to address issues swiftly, minimizing downtime and disruption. Resolving incidents efficiently is crucial for maintaining service quality. All of these customizable components are essential because they create intuitive and efficient user experiences. They help reduce manual effort and standardize operations across your organization, making processes more predictable and easier to manage. Now let's talk about UI actions. These are the interactive elements you see as buttons, links, or menu items on forms and lists within ServiceNow. Think of them as the gateway between users and automated processes. With a simple click, users can trigger scripts, launch workflows, or perform complex tasks seamlessly. So, what are UI actions? They are the building blocks that make our user interfaces not just functional, but also powerful and customizable. They form the foundation of efficient, user-friendly automation in ServiceNow. Let's take a closer look at the different types of UI actions we can configure. First, we have context menu items, which are accessible via right-click menus on records. These provide quick, contextual actions without cluttering the main interface, making it easier for users to perform advanced functions on specific records. This setup is especially useful for power users who need rapid access to certain features while keeping the overall UI clean and streamlined. Next, we have list buttons and banners. These appear prominently on list views, allowing users to perform bulk operations or quick actions across multiple records at once. Think of scenarios like updating several records simultaneously, batch processing, or generating reports from filtered data sets. These tools make those tasks much more efficient. Finally, there are form buttons that are placed directly on individual record forms. These enable users to execute actions related to a specific record, such as approvals or status changes. Because they're tied to the record in question, they make record-specific operations straightforward and intuitive. Connecting all of these, the overall theme is about providing the right level of access and efficiency, whether it's quick context actions, bulk operations, or record-specific tasks, while keeping the user interface clean and user-friendly. Let's talk through the key configuration fields for creating effective UI actions. First, we have the name. This is your unique developer identifier, so it's important to choose a clear and descriptive name that helps you and others easily understand what this action does. Next is the table field, which specifies the target table where your UI action will appear, like incident, change request, or a custom table. This setting determines the context and scope of your action. Then there's the condition field. This is where you control when the UI action is visible to users. You can set it up to show or hide based on record state, user roles, or other business logic, making your interface dynamic and user-friendly. Moving on, the script field contains the core logic that runs when the UI action is triggered. It can be set up to run on the client side, server side, or both, depending on what your requirements are. Finally, the checkbox to determine whether the script runs in the user's browser or on the ServiceNow server is crucial. This choice affects both performance and capabilities, so understanding when to use client-side versus server-side scripting is key. All these fields work together to define how your UI action looks, behaves, and interacts within your system, making this configuration process central to customizing your ServiceNow experience. On this slide, we're looking at a hybrid approach that combines both client-side validation and server-side processing. Essentially, the client script calls the server using GSFT submit to give users instant feedback while still leveraging the robust backend operations for optimal user experience. This way, users get quick responses without sacrificing the power of server-side logic. The server-side execution runs directly on the ServiceNow server, giving access to glide record, workflows, and other backend systems. This is crucial for database operations, integrations, handling complex business logic, and performing security validations that must stay on the server. On the other hand, client-side execution runs right in the user's browser using APIs like gform. It's perfect for providing instant feedback, validating fields, showing alerts, and manipulating the UI, all without needing to communicate with the server for every action. This makes the interface more responsive and user-friendly. In summary, balancing these two approaches allows us to create a seamless experience. Quick, responsive interactions on the client side, combined with the power and security of server-side processing when needed. This architecture is key to building efficient, secure, and user-centric applications in ServiceNow. Let's take a closer look at how GSFT submit functions and why it's so critical. Essentially, GSFT submit is the key method you use for UI actions that require both client-side validation and server-side processing. Without it, the server scripts in hybrid configurations won't run, which can break your entire workflow logic. When you click a UI action button on a form, the first step is client validation. This checks the inputs and prepares the data for submission. Once the data is validated, GSFT submit sends the form data back to the ServiceNow server for processing. This server-side execution is where your backend logic runs, completing the process. After the server processes the data, the results are returned, and the form either refreshes or redirects as needed. So, in essence, GSFT submit ties everything together. It ensures that your form data travels smoothly from the client to the server, enabling both validation and backend processing to work hand in hand. That's why understanding how it works is so vital for building effective, reliable UI actions. This slide showcases a powerful use case of UI actions in ServiceNow. What we're seeing here is how these actions can transform ServiceNow from just a data repository into a truly dynamic productivity platform that seamlessly integrates with your business workflows. Imagine having your portfolio status, project updates, or incident summaries instantly ready for executive meetings. No more scrambling for data or formatting. These outputs are stakeholder-ready, meaning they ensure a consistent, professional presentation that aligns perfectly with your corporate branding. And the best part is, this is all template-based. Users can trigger complex data extraction and formatting with just a single click, making the process quick and effortless. This is what we mean by one-click automation, saving time and reducing manual effort. Specifically, with a custom UI action button, users can instantly export ServiceNow data into professionally formatted PowerPoint presentations using predefined templates. This automation eliminates hours of manual report creation, allowing teams to focus on analysis and decision-making instead of formatting and compiling reports. Overall, this real-world use case highlights how automating report generation can streamline operations and improve productivity, making ServiceNow not just a data hub, but a strategic tool for your organization. Now, let's talk about thoroughly testing your UI actions. It's crucial to evaluate these actions across different user roles, various states, and multiple scenarios. By doing this, we can verify both success paths and error paths to ensure everything works reliably in a production environment. Remember, comprehensive testing helps us catch issues early and build trust in our system. Next, keep your client-side scripts lightweight and responsive. Heavy processing, complex operations, and database queries are best delegated to server-side scripts. This approach helps maintain a smooth, responsive user experience, which is essential for user satisfaction. Moving on to optimizing performance, it's important to implement precise conditions and role-based access controls. This way, UI actions only appear when relevant and authorized, reducing clutter and preventing users from performing unauthorized actions. Clear visibility controls make the interface cleaner and more secure. Finally, use action-oriented button labels that clearly communicate what each action will do. Consistent naming conventions across your platform, like export report, escalate to manager, or generate invoice, help users understand exactly what to expect, improving usability and reducing confusion. By following these best practices, we ensure a reliable, efficient, and user-friendly interface that aligns with our overall goal of delivering a high-quality experience. Now, here's a pro tip. Always make use of ServiceNow's built-in debugging tools and test your UI actions in a sub-production environment before deploying them to the live system. This step is crucial because it helps you catch issues early and ensures everything functions smoothly. Also, don't forget to document your conditions and scripts so you can easily maintain and update them in the future. One of the most common mistakes I see is forgetting to include the GSFT submit function in hybrid UI actions. Without this call, server-side scripts won't execute, which can break your entire workflow. It's a small detail, but a big difference in making sure your actions work as intended. Another point to keep in mind is avoiding UI overload. Adding too many buttons and actions to a form can create visual chaos and overwhelm your users. Instead, focus on the essential actions, use context menus for more advanced features, and group related functions together. This way, you keep the interface clean, intuitive, and user-friendly. Finally, be careful where you place your script code. Writing scripts directly in the global scope can cause them to run prematurely during form load, rather than when the user actually clicks a button. Always wrap your logic inside proper functions to control exactly when your code executes. This helps maintain predictable behavior and keeps your code organized. So, in summary, always test thoroughly, document well, pay attention to critical functions like GSFT submit, keep your UI simple, and wrap your scripts properly. These best practices will save you a lot of headaches down the line. The journey to ServiceNow mastery really starts with understanding UI actions. This is where you begin experimenting, learning, and gradually transforming your platform into a powerful, user-friendly solution. When you get comfortable with UI actions, you'll see how they can drive real organizational success. By creating custom UI actions, you can solve specific business challenges more efficiently. It's about building solutions that are tailored to your unique needs. So I encourage you to start building today. Think about creating intuitive, context-aware actions that empower your users and help reduce training time. Enhancing the user experience is key here. When you customize ServiceNow to fit your organization's processes, you not only boost productivity, but also make the platform more intelligent through automation. And don't forget, unlocking the power of UI actions means you can tailor workflows that truly support your team's goals. Remember, this is all about taking control of your ServiceNow environment and making it work smarter for you.